Hey, so now it's my turn to pick this little guy's brain about his blog, Duly Noted.
Little guy.
So, so tell us, what inspired you to create the blog in itself?
Well, Katie, I've always wanted to. What are you laughing at?
It's a joke.
Get off the honey of the month, Katie.
I know. Sorry.
Well, Katie, you know, I was interested in love and relationships, and in fact, I almost went to school for psychology to get my master's in psychology and relationships, but I decided not to. And a lot of my friends, girlfriends, and guy friends come to me for my relationship advice, and so I thought I'd start a blog. It's easy enough to start and free, and advice is free.
Exactly. So, on the topic of your blog, speaking, what's a heavy subject that you like to cover? What do most women, or let me phrase this differently. What do you find that most women are concerned about in relationships, or what they blog to you about?
I get a lot of women that don't know where they stand with the guy that they're seeing.
Okay.
So it's a lot of like ambiguity, like they're getting mixed signals or they don't know how to read a guy. So what better than to hear from a guy actually how that
Who's
guy's
super cute.
Well,
I mean, sorry, but let's be honest.
Again, get off the honey of the month.
Icing on the cake.
Well,
so, yeah.
so you have a lot of experience, I'm sure, like, obviously.
Oh, wow.
No, in a
my
good way,
personal experience.
In a good way. Thus, that's why you created this. I think it's a great outlet. If I mean, obviously, my past relationships, I can totally relate and ask questions, specifically speaking about men who, you go on a date with them or you hook up, and let's say they don't call you the next day, or you have intimate relations with them. Women often think that, they sit and ponder daily. Why didn't they call me? Why didn't they call me?
Right.
Do you have a
Is that your question?
Yeah, that's sort of my question, I guess.
He's just not that into you?
Yeah. I'm not sure why that guy didn't call you specifically. I mean, you're gonna have to send in a legit question to the blog. But in general, I mean, there's a number of reasons why, but I think that's why a woman needs to be able to separate the difference between sex and in a relationship, having an actual relationship with somebody, and maybe those lines should be clearly drawn before she decides to have sex with a guy.
Completely.
Right. So that way she knows where she stands. I mean, it doesn't mean that the relationship is going to end up the way that she wants it, but it definitely gives her a better idea of where the guy's coming from. And it's okay for a woman to say, listen, I really like you, and I want to have sex with you, but I want to make sure I know where this is going first. And that way the guy probably is less inclined to like have sex with her and then just dip.
Right. I mean, especially this relates so much to Los Angeles because this is a cesspool of single women and men.
Sing it, girl.
Who have
Get in your
all
soapbox.
these questions,
Right.
and to have it answered is just amazing. Like,
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not always going to give the right answer, but I think the difference with the reason that I felt like I could give solid advice to a woman is A, because I'm a man, and a lot of women get their advice from their girlfriends, which isn't always the best advice. But
True.
But also, I've taken the time to go back and look at my relationships and why they haven't worked, or why they've been successful, or what worked for me, or what was going on in the situation, and why it ended up the way it did. People don't really go back and analyze their relationships like that. And so I think if you go back and you look at why it didn't work, you take an honest look at why it didn't work, not just because, oh, the other person cheated, or you have to look at why they cheated and what your behaviors were in that relationship to make those things happen. And then that way you can move forward and like in your next relationships do things differently.
Well said.
that's interesting. All right, well.
I stumped you right there. You're
I know,
speechless.
I'm completely speechless.
That takes a lot.
So being that, like, how busy you are, do you have any other extracurricular activities? Are you devoting your time fully to the site?
Not fully, no. I mean, I have a full-time job. I got to pay the bills. And, I like to, this is more for me. It's like a late night thing where I'm at home. So instead of going out, I'll sit at home and get on my
You put the
blog.
jazz music on, get a glass of wine.
Yeah, a glass of Pinot and chill. And blog.
Love it. Well, you heard it first, ladies. Are you single yourself?
Woo!
I mean, I know you all want to know
even
that.
though I give relationship advice, I am single. They say if you can't do, then teach.
Exactly.
So.
And you've been through it. You've been through the muck. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we're gonna go take some fabulous pictures around the Grove.